We are currently living through a biological protest against a mathematical reality. Right now, in your professional and personal life, you are likely working twice as hard to achieve half as much simply because your brain is hardwired to believe that struggle is the only legitimate source of value. Now, we are at a watershed moment, highlighted by OpenAI's decision on March the 24th to sunset the Sora video project in favor of Project Spud and advanced reasoning, where the world is shifting from a model of friction to a model of alignment. Now, if you don't understand this shift, you won't just be left behind, you'll be exhausted while everyone else is winning. Now, to understand why we are so resistant to this, we have to look back to July of 1946. A man named Fritz Huschke von Hunstein lined up at the start of the Ruhestein hill climb in a strange open-wheeled VW Special cobbled together from military scraps. It had one radical feature. The engine was in the middle, not in the front. So when Huschke crosses the finish line with the fastest time, the crowd doesn't cheer. They booed. They actually try to have him disqualified. Why? Because to the spectators of 1946, a real car had the weight in the front. The engine was in the front. To them, putting the engine in the middle wasn't innovation, it was cheating, and it was cheating the natural order of things. Now, maybe we laugh at this now, but we're doing the exact same thing today with artificial intelligence. We are booing the mid-engine of our era because we are trapped in the ancient biological machinery of our own minds. Welcome to the Thinkstrumentalist. I'm Andre Smuts, and today we're dismantling the psychological walls standing between you and the age of synthetic reasoning. Now, the first wall is a psychological state I call effortia, the seductive but dangerous belief that the value of an outcome is directly proportional to the sweat and grind required to achieve it. Now, this traces back to the 1950s and the polymath Herbert Simon, who realized human beings aren't logical optimizers. We are satisficers. We use mental shortcuts or heuristics to navigate a complex world. Now, one of the most stubborn shortcuts is the effort heuristic. But there's also a deeper trap here, and this is the inertia of effort. Usually we think of inertia as a body at rest, but in Effortia, inertia is a body in motion that refuses to change its path. It's the paradoxical state where we keep grinding away at a task, not because it's effective, but because the act of working hard provides a psychological safety blanket. We feel guilt-free because we are tired. We mistake exhaustion for contribution. Now, in early 2025, research showed that people rated identical work as less natural the moment they were told an AI generated it. We are addicted to the friction because the friction makes us feel necessary. But as Isaac Newton proved, standing on the shoulders of giants isn't cheating. It's the only way to see the horizon. Now, the second wall is the genetic fallacy, judging a solution by its origin rather than its utility. And this brings us to the work of David Hawkins and his distinction between force and power. So force always creates a counterforce. It requires a constant, exhausting external energy source like manual labor or sheer willpower. Force is the engine at the front of the car, fighting the physics of the turn. Power, however, is the field. It is the perfect alignment with the laws of the universe. I mean, a wooden table doesn't struggle to hold up a weight. It is simply aligned with gravity. Now, I call the mastery of this alignment powerism. Now, powerism is the strategic transition from pushing the world to aligning with its current logical flows. Treat the world as it is. When we reject AI because it feels soulless, we are choosing force over powerism. We are choosing the friction of the old way because the mid-engine of synthetic reasoning feels like we're skipping a step. Now, we focus on the origin to detract from the capability. Even as AI-led discoveries like now in 2026, things that we call Materials 4.0, that's currently stabilizing nuclear fusion in ways humans never could. The final wall is what I call the humanity in the gaps. This is the no true Scotsman fallacy in its most desperate form. As AI becomes more capable, we keep moving the goalposts of what true intelligence is. So no true strategist would use AI. No true artist would use a generator. We define our humanity as whatever the machines can't do yet. But as we saw with the recent pivot toward advanced reasoning engines, the machines are moving into the final fortress, pure logic. There was a massive study done in January 2026, and it revealed a startling irony. AI is learning to mirror our irrational gut feelings just to please us. Yet it remains perfectly cold-bloodedly rational in the statistical fields where our human brains consistently fail. We are moving the goalposts so far that we're eventually going to run out of field. And this brings us to the ultimate discipline for the 21st century, the synarchitectonics. Now, synarchitectonics is the architecture of synthesis, the ability to design complex outcomes by combining human agency with machine precision. It is the realization that the process is dead and only the alignment remains. Now, the crowd in 1946 wanted to disqualify the mid-engine car because it felt like cheating. But physics doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about alignment. If you are stuck in the force model, rewarding yourself for the hours spent rather than the outcomes achieved, you are building a fragile life. You are the crowd booing at the hill climb while the future speeds past. It's time to exit Effortia, stop the inertia of effort, and start practicing powerism. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt that guilt of finding a solution too quickly? Do you catch yourself staying in the grind of Effortia just because it feels safer than trusting a machine's logic? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's dismantle these heuristics and our approaches to them together and find alignment. I'm Andre Smuts, and this is how we build a protopian future, one mental model at a time. I'll see you in the comments.